Harder Stadium's Meredith Field, home to Tim Vomsteeg's UCSB men's soccer team, has led the nation in attendance since 2007. And today, Jorge Salcedo's number 2 UCLA Bruins are in Santa Barbara. It's UCSB and UCLA men's college soccer next on NSCAA TV. They say this is soccer heaven. Santa Barbara, California, Harder Stadium, home to the UCSB Gauchos. Today, welcome in the number 2 team in the country, UCLA, right here on NSCAA TV. Hello, buddy. I'm Dean Linke. Delighted to be with Keith the Badsick. And Keith, it is indeed soccer heaven.
It is soccer heaven here. There's always good soccer. Tonight is not going to disappoint. You know, Dean, I tell you, arguably more of the most technically gifted players in college soccer on this field tonight than any other game we'll see all year.
Well said, Keith. UCSB with a ton of talented young players, but we'll be looking to a veteran, a transfer from UCLA, Reed McKenna, for the Gauchos.
Yeah, Reed McKenna is going to be important because this is a very young Gaucho team. Reed McKenna transferred from UCLA. Right, has been here now. He's one of 2 seniors only on the team. He's going to be playing up front, close to the goal. He's going to try to score against his old team and get UC Santa Barbara on track.
Meanwhile, for Jorge Salcedo and UCLA on the Mac Herman watch list is Leo Stoles.
Well, when you say Leo Stoles, you say everything about a soccer player. This guy is just the best maybe in all of college soccer. Pac-10 Player of the Year, All-American, Mac Herman Trophy finalist last year, turned down the MLS to come back. He can do it all, and by the way, he's going to have to start scoring some goals and setting them up for UCLA because their talented squad could make a deep run into the NCAAs if he does.
Keith, big personalities lead both these teams. Tim Vomsteeg for UCSB, Jorge Salcedo for UCLA, and we talked to him moments ago.
Well, we have to take advantage of the fact that this year so far we've been very, very good from the 18-yard box to the 18-yard box, but in our final 18 and there in the attacking 18, we haven't been able to put away enough balls, and we haven't been able to keep the ball out of our net. So tonight the key to UCLA is play well again from the 18 to the 18, but then obviously convert our chances and, you know, play really, really hard defensively to keep them off the board.
Well, tonight's important that we get off to a good start. You know, we've been on the road early on in the season, and the key to our success on the road has been the first 15-20 minutes and really kind of dictating the pace of the game, recovering the ball in the right spots of the field, and really playing our game from the get-go. You know, we're a team that whether we're at home or on the road, we absolutely want to dictate tempo. We want to create more goal-scoring opportunities. So the key to the game tonight is for us to get off to a good start.
Tire proud to be the presenting sponsor of the NSCAA College Soccer Special right here on NSCAA TV. Take a look now at the starting lineups as the national anthem just finishing up here at Harder Stadium. Delighted to be with you on NSCAA TV as you see the UCLA Bruins in white. This is the starting lineup for the Gauchos.
Yeah, the Gauchos pretty much play in a 4-2-1-3. You know, watch out for Axel Mendes, number 10 in the center midfield. Very talented out of the Galaxy Academy. Also in the back, you got to look in the left side. Drew Murphy, like this player, he was played in the midfield last year, gets up and down the field. He's a danger from the back.
Starting lineup now for the visitors from Los Angeles. UCLA, they come in as the number 2 team in the country, and with North Carolina losing, they could be number 1. as we show you the Bruins starting lineup.
Yeah, the Bruins starting lineup, basically 4-4-1-1, but it's Leo Stolz in the middle. Again, the number 10 for them. Also maybe the best player in the entire country. Earl Edwards, one of the top goalkeepers. He can make that save to win a game for you.
Number 20, Tusa Zamaja. Get ready for Keith Matznick's translation of that one, folks. And also you got Zaveda on the right side for the Bruins. As you said, some of the best talent in the country.
Yeah, well, I think when you just get both teams together on this field, in terms of technical ability, there's maybe more players at this 22 players out here than when you have any other two teams playing. One of the big differences, Dean, is the experience of one side versus the other. UCLA, a more experienced side than UC Santa Barbara is, and these are the types of games that make freshmen develop very quickly, which is, again, why Tim Von Steeg has these teams on his schedule.
All right, delighted to be with you from Harder Stadium, home to the Gauchos, Meredith Field, as UCLA comes in with a 3-1-2 record. They went on the road, beat Wake Forest and Jay Vidovich, beat Carlos Samuano and the Tar Heels, and then lost to Keith Tabasnik's alma mater, American. And we've been hearing about it ever since.
As you should be hearing about it. The Eagles have gone on to win 5 straight, actually, and break into the top 20. And congratulations to them. They did not rest on that big win.
UCLA would bounce back with a win over New Mexico, and then a couple ties, Santa Clara and Cal Poly, no score, as the Bruins looking to put some goals on the scoreboard. They've scored 7. Their opponents have scored just 4. We're ready to get started here at Harder Stadium. It absolutely splendid evening in Santa Barbara. As the referee going on a stroll, we can start any time.
I'm saying the game hasn't started, Dean. I'm getting upset with the referee already, Alex Gorin, for not kicking off the play.
And here he goes. We're underway. UCSB in the blue and black stripes. UCLA in the white. And the Gauchos fans, they are loud and proud already.
Yeah, they will pretty much be doing that the whole game, in particular if their team scores, doing that and more.
Here's Stolz right off the bat. Jorge Salcedo changing up his lineup a little bit. And it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Bruins. Now, the students are not on campus yet. They come in next week. So if the students were here, dare I say, there would have been more than 15,000 here, because you can walk to it. The campus, everything right together here. It's just an unbelievable university. Cleared out of there by the Gauchos. UCLA will try to win it back. Playing it far side over there is Felix Vaveda. Hard foul, and already it's a little bit fiery. And, of course, no love lost between these two teams.
No, not at all. I mean, what a rivalry that they've created. And I'll tell you what, in reality, he deserved to get a yellow card right there. That's, number 10, Axel Mendez in the midfield, pulling the shirt and pulling a UCLA player down. For something like that, it shouldn't matter what minute you are in the game, to be honest with you. And I would say for Axel in particular, he has 3 cards on the year already.
Played long as they try to find Tusa Zamaja. Up top, the transfer coming in, number 20. Actually, number 11, Larry Jock is the transfer from Loyola, rather.
Scored a ton.
Zamaja.
Yeah, I'll get to him in a second, but Larry Jock scored a ton of goals for the Greyhounds in Baltimore before transferring here.
Goal kick for UCSB. In goal for the Gauchos, Josh McNeely. The backup goalkeeper, Brandon Burke. And, of course, we are hearing the murmurs that Tim Von Steeg's talented oldest son, Justin, a big 6'4" goalkeeper who's played with the U.S. youth teams, will be coming here next year.
Well, we have definitely heard that rumor. Justin, an outstanding goalkeeper and an absolutely valid recruit to come to play here despite the last name, regardless of the last name. I mean, he knows who he's going to be playing for, should that come true. I guess he has no problem with that.
The Gauchos will switch it. Here's Kevin Garcia Lopez. Great story. He's hung around here 4 years, and now it's his time to play, and he's making the most of it. Jome. Ismaila Jome played up top to Kevin Garcia Lopez as the outside backs will come forward. There's Fuji. They've got Fuji and Nick Dupuy in the middle.
Yeah, and again, these are all guys that are fairly technical. Dupuy with quite a bit of size on him as well. But what you're going to see is a lot of those wide backs getting forward because the wide midfielders for UCLA, the right-sided midfielders left-footed to go inside, the left-sided midfielders right-footed to come inside for their outside backs.
It's Nick Dupuy, my bad, number 6. Nick Dupuy in the middle for UCSB. He'll sit there and try to handle the attacking players of the Bruins. Speaking of the Bruins, they're on the attack into the 18. Coming over in support in the back there, you've got Paul Eamon and Brandon Brockway. Played to Jock. It's the transfer that Keith talked about a moment ago. Good defending over there by Eamon. Eamon, a sophomore. Started all the games last year, a lot of them in midfield. He's moved to the back. And then Brandon Brockway is coming there as well. Used to seeing big, strong Germans in that back line for Tim Baumsteeg. Corner kick, UCLA, 5 minutes in. And we're picking up quite a bit of the songs here from the students.
Yes, hopefully they stay fairly G-rated, and we will be okay with them coming right into the microphones. But one of the things about the way that UC Santa Barbara would like to play this game, we'll hold on here and continue in a sec, Dean.
The Bruins get it back. They'll switch it. Not on frame as they were trying to spring Jordan Vale on the left side.
So they're saying is that the Gauchos, really a lot of teams will play UCLA. They'll kind of sit back, pack it in, and it's something UCLA, quite frankly, has had a bit of difficulty with. But in truth, that's not in Tim Von Steeg's DNA to do that. I mean, they want to come here playing at home and playing on TV and everything to try to go at it, score some goals, and try to have this kind of a statement game for them.
Goal kick for UCSB. See if the Gauchos can get an attack going. Early on, it's been mostly the Bruins. UCLA playing it out of the back. The back line there is Javon Torre. Gauchos trying to run it down. That's Reed McKenna, the transfer from UCLA. He's got to be a lot of emotion for him.
Yeah, emotion in two ways. Obviously playing his old team, playing up top. He's the point man up there. He's up there to score goals. But also as one of the 2 seniors on this young team to also be a leader in a big game like this.
Jome, the Big West Freshman of the Year a year ago. Now keep in mind the 2 Frenchmen have moved on. Campion was such a handful up top, so it's a little bit different now for Jome.
Yeah, it's different for Jome. It's different for all of them. Both these teams actually are trying to find a go-to player, up front. 1 or 2 guys that they can kind of count on almost always to score goals. They've been sharing all the glory with the goals, but well, that's good in one way. A lot of all the top teams, I think, all the teams that go far always have go-to players.
UCLA, UCSB here on NSCAA TV as the college soccer special rolls on thanks to an incredible schedule put together by the NSCAA and led by Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Services for the NSCAA. Just one great game after another. The Gauchos putting some pressure on, but they're called for the foul. Tim Baumsteeg doesn't like that call.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. It went in hard. Hard to tell whether that was or they got the leg first or the ball, but certainly going to make a statement that UCLA will not get any free runs up.
Tusa Zamaja coming all the way back to help the Bruins. Big-time goalkeeper, Earl Edwards. He's trained with the Galaxy, with Portland, with D.C., with Seattle. Part of the U.S. youth system. Edwards, one of the best goalkeepers in the country. The Bruins trying to keep the attack going here. Torre switched over there by Grady Howe. Howe will just keep it simple. Another foul here, looks like, or did it go out of bounds?
Yeah, you're right about Howe. That's his role there, to kind of sit in the middle in front of the backs there and really just connect. He's a link player and tries to do the work to allow those talented attacking players in front of him to do their job.
Here's the German Stoles. Knocked out of bounds. Corner kick for the Bruins as Tusa Zamaja earning the corner kick. Here come the Bruins. Short corner, back across. Knocked out of there. They fall to the top of the 18, and UCSB can now roll with it. Let's see how they do. The blue and black stripes of the Gauchos. McKenna will drop it. Now they'll find Jome. Ishmaela Jome loves to take on players. Over to McKenna. Oh, my. McKenna took a shot. He wanted one. May have been better served to square it, but he was going for it.
Yeah, he may have been, and Edwards is not going to give up too many of those as a rebound, but he sure struck it hard, and he's going to put this pressure on there as well. You could tell he's quite motivated for this game, Dean. And we see this see this again going in there. Watch this shot. Bad angle, but I tell you what, that was hitting right towards that corner. I think our eyes up here, Dean, saw that hitting the inside of the post and going in, right?
10 minutes in, no score. On the turn is Felix.
That was our first look before. Sorry of Ismaila Jome, and one of these players for them that can really make things happen on his own as well. Sophomore from Gambia. She grew up in Minnesota. Mr. Soccer in Minnesota, high school All-American.
Amick. They play it back to Edwards. Students are not in class yet, but they're here. And UCSB able to win it back. They'll go out of bounds off of UCLA over in front of Jorge Salcedo and the UCLA bench. Nick Carlin-Voigt on the bench with him, along with Leonard Griffin and Phil Marfuji. The Gauchos. One too many spins there by Ludwig All, a player that just arrived right before the season started.
Well, he has, from Sweden. He's got one goal in the year, and I'll tell you something about him. I've just been hearing some tremendous things about his talent as well, and as he adjusts to this college game, he's going to be another one of the exciting players that Tim Von Stieg has found.
Yeah, it wasn't easy because he just came over and went right into the heat of South Carolina as they played Charleston. They won that game, but then got rocked by Furman 0-3 as UCSB has then tied Tim Lenahan's Northwestern Wildcats, lost to Stanford by a score of 4-1, and that used that same score to beat Colgate, and that's where they are right now, 2-2-1. UCLA 3-1-2 with that only loss coming to American, as we talked about earlier. The Gauchos looking for McKenna and Jome, top of the 18, falls to Mendez, but Mendez didn't hit it very well. Axel Mendez, exciting young player.
Yeah, he is, and I said before, he's out of that the Galaxy Academy as well, played with Cal South Olympic. Look at this ball coming across. We'll see him sealing this ball in. McKenna trying to go for the header, and it comes back out, and yeah, he's just off balance and almost just caught by surprise that the ball bounced out to him.
Perfect night here in picturesque Santa Barbara, California. Such a beautiful part of the country. Bruins will steal it away from UCSB. Both these teams, as Keith Tabasnik said in the open, very technical, very creative, crafty. Picked off by the Gauchos, middle of the field. And there's he tried to spin it himself, but forgot the ball.
But the spin was good, Dean, though, next time with the ball. But, you know, I obviously trying to do something a little special there to get around. And, you know, one of the things I like about Santa Barbara, the approach already, you know, is they definitely want to try to take it to UCLA. And, you know, UCLA may be coming in, you know, with the high ranking, but UCLA has struggled the last couple games. They've you know, been the better team, but they haven't scored in 2 0-0 results in a row.
UCLA looking for Jock. Booted out of there by the Gaucho defense. One in the middle of the field. Fuji, number 5. So Fuji and Depew will slide in with 2 men in the midfield. Both teams kind of adjusting to their styles. Even Jorge Salcedo making a few adjustments, bringing Stoles back in there with Tuisazamaja, and you already seeing Tuisazamaja drop way back.
Yeah, he is going back and leaving Jock up top by himself, a position that he's used to, actually. It's how he played at Loyola the last years also, and being the lone guy up there. Works very hard. You see another foul on UC Santa Barbara. See the replay, and
it's Drew Murphy.
Drew Murphy, a little aggressive.
Felix Vobeda going down. And it's kind of hard to keep up with the fans here. They're right underneath us, and they are loud and proud. Let me tell you, you can hear them, Keith.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you know, they may catch some things that we don't see as well. They're right on top of the game.
The Gauchos get it out wide. Falls to Kevin Garcia Lopez. Here's a guy who has been with the program, hasn't played a whole lot, waited around, got in there last year, playing that right side, and Tim Baumstieg liked what he saw, and now he's in there. He comes in on a hard tackle. They played up to Jock. Played back in the middle here now to Grady Howe, number 4. Torre back to Howe. Howe does well just to trap that. Mendez puts a little bit of pressure on him. And that's Edgar Contreras, the transfer from the community college in the LA area. Took a little while to adjust, but he's also another great story for Jorge Salcedo as Jock gets clipped.
Yeah, you know, he is coming in from the junior college. You're getting kind of used to, you know, what the Division I's all about and the pace and the UCLA style as well.
Speaking of style, Stoles does so much, really more of a holding midfielder, but Jorge Salcedo saw something in him a couple years ago, moved him to that 8 and 10. The Bruins trying to make it 1-0. Player goes down to let it play on. It gets all the way through, and boy, I'll tell you what, the goalkeeper McNeely almost let that one slip in.
Yeah, but I think he was. If we have another look at this, we can. That you will see. I think he may also have been screened as that ball came out. You'll see what happens here as the ball pops back out.
Smith comes forward.
And it pops there, and there he is. He has a good look, and there are players in front of him. But, yeah, you're right. I think he saw it late, couldn't hold it. At least he pushed it wide. And that's one of the things.
It was Vobeda with that shot. The Bruins continue to press. Jock is in the 18, now back out. He turns, runs right into a blue wall. Now UCLA will try to switch it far side and cleared out cleanly by the Gauchos, and they can counter as quick as any team in the country. But Tuisazamaja comes back. I like that foul, actually, just slowing it down.
Yeah, good recovery by him, and doing the foul, no harm there. But one of the things about that chance that UCLA got before, it came off of Santa Barbara not being able to get that ball out. These are kind of these silly mistakes that a young team often makes that Tim Von Steeg needs his team to mature on, not give away things, because you usually get punished against a top team when you do that.
Vale in the middle to Howe. Howe, what a booming ball from Howe. Jorge Salcedo talked about this. Vobeda, and it's Vobeda on the right side, running it down, goes far post, looking for Stoles, back across again, as Leo Stoles was lurking on the far post. And Stoles gets fouled. Fouled by the right back, Kevin Garcia Lopez. That sets up a free kick now for Stoles.
Yeah, and really, Garcia Lopez, he didn't need to go in for that. It wasn't going to get to the ball without fouling. Just stay behind, and let the ball go. And, then the referee is not going to be calling that Alex Gorin. Seen here quite a number of times, considered one of the top referees, certainly in this region, possibly in the country as well.
So free kick opportunity for Stoles. The big players come forward. It'll go over the crossbar off of UCLA as a lot of the Bruins stepping up there. Torrey was in there, Amick, Contreras, everybody coming forward. Good look there at Torrey from Santa Monica, part of that U20 national team that played in the World Cup. Played so well at the CONCACAF championships as well in Mexico.
Yeah, and Torrey in particular played quite well, you know, also against Mexico as well. He played the left center back for Tab Ramos's team.
Nifty move by the Gauchos, played in, could be 1-0, off the post, back again, off the other post, are you kidding me? UCSB, McKenna now, kept alive and corner kick, Gauchos, the paint chipped on both sides.
Oh my, I tell you what, that's Axel Mendez on the end, on his favorite left foot as well for both of those shots. Look at this as they come in, what a good little play by the Gauchos, off the post, right back to him. Gets it again, it comes right back off, one and then the other. He's got to put one down the middle this time.
All right, hang on to both those shots. Back across again. Let's see if we can get the guys to show us that one more time. Hang on, hold it, as this game is end to end. Look at the Bruins now on the attack. The speed there of UCLA almost had the breakaway as that was Vail. Let's take a look one more time. Oh, hang on. I just saw it. And the Bruins. Tusa Zamaja. Howe. Stoles. Tusa Zamaja. Jome. Putting some pressure on him. He'll lose the ball. The Gauchos will win it back, but Tusa Zamaja stays with it. He wanted the foul, but UCLA keeps possession, and now Tusa Zamaja wants a break.
He does. You look at UCLA, basically two center backs there, plus the holding midfielder, Howe. The rest of the players are all well upfield.
Stoles. Boy, Mendez with a couple as UCSB hit both posts on the ground. It's almost unlucky the way it careened off because you hit it inside, it might go in the net. Keith.
No, exactly. Well, I mean, you're supposed to teach them to hit the inside of the post, Dean. You know, there's a little problem, a technical problem there. We have to talk to Tim about that. But he's had all three shots for Santa Barbara, one over top and hit each post. He's due for one on target.
Boy, it looked like Stoles was held up, but he will get the whistle. A little bit late, but he got it. 23 minutes and change left here in the first half. Tusa Zamaja, that was Jock rather, tried to crack one. It'll fall here now to Howe. I want to tell you about the NSCAA College Soccer Scoreboard by TopDrawerSoccer.com, where you can go for all of your college score needs. TopDrawerSoccer.com. The score here is UCSB 0, UCLA 0. As Tusa Zamaja tracks all the way back.
I don't think it's a surprise, Dean, that this game was going to go end to end. Right after UCLA has their best chances, Santa Barbara comes down for their best chances of the half so far as well.
Torrey to Amick. Now to Contreras. Amick to Jock. Jock falls to the ground. Coming forward is Eamon. Eamon had it for a second, but Tusa Zamaja doing the work. Another great one by the Bruins as Robeda goes down.
Well, I tell you, they're upset because, right before that, going downfield, Eamon had the ball. He loses it right away, comes down. Now there's a foul. And, I think Eamon, when he won that ball, he needed to play it off quick because Eamon really had a good look upfield. And instead of dribbling, play that ball, especially off the interception to go forward. As he get pulled out of that center back spot, all of a sudden this space opens for UCLA to come back at him.
Leo Stoles with the free kick. He takes a shot, David Beckham style, but that was way too deep.
It was deep, and you actually know, the respect for his shot because they had 4 in the wall despite that being fairly far out from the goal. But it's kind of hard to bend that off the inside of the foot to put that in from there. You need a little bit more off the laces, and he has the ability to do that. He certainly seems to be able to do almost anything he wants to.
Young team on the field for UCSB, but a team that Tim Vom Steeg has said that in a couple years he thinks they can make another run for the national championship, something they accomplished in 2006.
It's a team that it has a little different look to it than a lot of the great teams have had before. As you don't see really, the junior college transfer influence that has been so big with UC Santa Barbara. But
Kevin Garcia Lopez trying to find Jome. Go ahead, Keith.
I was just saying the young players they have, they are so talented, and you can get them going and believing in themselves. You might not have to wait a long time to be back in the top 20, top 25. They just got to get a little bit of seasoning, and this is the type of game that does it, and certainly they're doing well. McKenna.
Jome able to steal it away, drops it to McKenna. He'll square it right in the middle of the field. It'll bounce a little bit heavy. And when it does, it popped up on Nick Depew.
Yeah, Depew really a poor touch there because he had time to have a good touch and even a shot from where he was.
The Bruins stay with it. Stoles looking for Jock, but the whistle was already there as a foul on UCLA. Under 20 minutes left here in the first half. No score, end-to-end action, though. Entertaining college soccer. You knew it would be. Both these coaches play attractive soccer, and Jorge Salcedo, he has said that from the moment he arrived. Of course, talk about a guy who bleeds Bruin. He played there, of course, at UCLA. His dad was involved at UCLA. He, played for Ziggy Schmidt. I mean, the guy's a true Bruin.
Well, he is a true Bruin, and also with the U.S. soccer person as well, has represented the United States. One of the outstanding youth internationals that we had. And part of the team that was the first team ever to beat Brazil in the Under-16 World Cup 1989. Jorge Salcedo was a center back for that team and captain.
Yeah, he's always been a great leader. Now the father of 4, as he's got a young one, 3 boys and a girl now. His youngest one, Macfin, 7 weeks old. I was like, Jorge, did anybody remind you that you're 41 years old?
He's going to go for one more, have a 5-a-side.
The Gaucho's going for just 1, but not on frame. Popped by Fuji.
Fuji, the freshman from California, is also with the Galaxy Academy. And he's really been recruiting. He's got some of these pockets opened with some of these top youth clubs and getting their best players coming in. It'd be quite a battle between UCLA and Santa Barbara for some of those players.
It's one there a moment ago by Vale, looking for McKenna. And they drop it back here now to Amick. And Contreras will go to Edwards. Edwards can absolutely pound it, and he does. Trying to find Jock on the fly. Eamon steps up for the moment. Now Murphy on the turn. Wow. Great ball by Murphy to get it back to Depew. Depew will drop it to Fuji. It's Fuji and Depew right in front of that back 4. Now here comes the outside back, Kevin Garcia Lopez. Over to Jome. Jome. He'll square to Mendez. Mendez with a couple shots off each post.
He's looking to have another time to face goal and make up for those.
McKenna.
There he is.
Over to Mendez. He's got all right in front of him. He's got Murphy out wide. Depew, quick touch to McKenna. McKenna extremely active here against his former team. Depew, a big, strong man in the middle of the park. He's a giant. Fuji, now to Murphy. Gauchos fans continue to be heard here. Meredith Field, Harder Stadium, nearly 50,000 strong here last year. Since 2007, nobody's had more college soccer fans on the men's side than UCSB.
No, and again, it's not just the students. It is the students big time, but he gets out into the community. What they do, the community outreach that Tim Von Steeg and his staff and players do, bring so many of the youth soccer players from all around in to watch the game. And sort of, why not? What a fantastic opportunity here to see some of the current college stars, but also future pros for sure.
Especially on a beautiful night. It's always beautiful in Santa Barbara, though. You kidding me? Early this morning, it was a little bit overcast, but it burnt through a little bit past noon, and it was just glorious the rest of the day. It was almost like once Keith Tabatsnik arrived in Santa Barbara, it opened up again.
I was a little upset when I landed with all the clouds, and we took care of that, though.
Yeah, by the time you got to the hotel, they were good. Here's Murphy. He'll cross it. Edwards will have it handled.
That's Drew Murphy, the sophomore from California. He played in the midfield most of last year, and playing in the back, gets forward like that. Very good left foot, and it takes him a little bit away from getting involved in the meat of the attack, but he'll get those services in and make his forwards look good.
UCLA will make some changes. Looks like Vale and Jock are going to come off. Benches are on the far side, all the way across here. Former football stadium. This place is gigantic, and it's, as you know, Keith, was a venue for a college cup, and a great one at that.
It was out here for that, and it was just a lot of fun that weekend.
Wow, what a ball from Mendez to Jome. Jome will take the shot. McKenna was open. How about that ball from Mendez?
And that's one of the missing elements in Santa Barbara the last couple years since graduation of players like Luis Silva, who's now with DC United, is that kind of attacking midfielder that can also do things himself but also make his teammates look better.
Look at this pass. Wow.
And then Jome also getting on the end of that, and he likes his left foot as well. Good looks at goal.
That was a one touch. It popped up to him, and he was about 18 yards away, and he put it right on the right foot of Jome. Here's Jome again. Jome's got the great left foot. Garcia Lopez. To Sazamaja coming all the way back. And he'll switch it far side. Fobeda looking to find Stoles. Headed out of there by Brandon Brockway. They call him Brock.
That's one of the subs that came in right there, Willie Ragoza. Number 8 on the ball right now for the Bruins. The other one up top, Shea Adequoya, freshman from Seattle.
Adequoya has scored some big goals this year.
He's one of the freshmen that Jorge Salcedo is very excited about. Goal, couple assists. He scored the 3rd goal versus Wake Forest in the big win early in the season.
The Bruins. Depew came back to win it. Mendez with a little push on Howe. Now McKenna putting some pressure on Contreras as he drops it to Amick. McKenna, you think he wants this? You think he wants it? You see that effort right there? The guy just ran 80 yards. Back and forth and side to side. Tusa Zamaja. How did he stay with it?
He did, and this is where Santa Barbara needs to be able to get it out. Just as I say it, they give it right back.
Grady Howe. Chopping it to the sub. Ragoza. Foul on UCSB. No, they'll give it back. They'll say UCSB has it. Let's take a look here.
And there we go. That's McKenna, chasing back. He's going to be spending a lot of energy. I'll also be surprised if he will want to ever come out of this game, no matter how tired he gets. So Tim Von Steeg actually, feeling like, he's got a chance to score his goal. He kind of feels it in him tonight, but you do spend that energy, you might have to get a break at some point.
12 minutes left here in the first half. No score, not for a lack of trying, particularly for Santa Barbara, as Mendez thought he was going to score. All right, so McKenna will come out now for the Gauchos. Well-deserved break.
So Dennis Calamar in for Santa Barbara. Yeah, I tell you what, I understand the amount of energy that McKenna had spent, but I tell you what, he looked like he was feeling it. I might have let him try to make it through the half.
Jome. Santa Barbara's got 8 goals on the season from 8 different players. You just don't see that every day. Stoles. Pushed off by 2 blue jerseys, including Garcia Lopez. And finally, though, the Bruins will lose it again. Here comes Mendez. Mendez does not need a whole lot of room. Calamar, number 18, has Jome on the right. Oh man,
wow.
Just played it way too hard.
That's his first pass of the game. Maybe a little too excited. Dean gets away from him, and you don't want to give away those easy ones. Jome, give that ball to Jome. Let him go one-on-one in that corner.
Jome is on the 2014 Mac Herman Trophy Award watch list, along with Stoles from UCLA, despite just being a sophomore. But won the Big West Freshman of the Year award a year ago.
Played most of last year on the left wing. He's a natural lefty, and he would skin players to get those balls across. And this time on the right side to be able to come in to have the shot as we saw before with his left foot.
Both coaches like to do that. And you see that theme for the Bruins as well. Nifty move by UCLA as number 17, Shea Adekoya, as neither team make it easy on you. Got some rough names here. Adekoya earning the yellow card from UCSB. The yellow card's on Nick Depew.
And referee saying that's for accumulation of fouls, because I didn't think that foul in and of itself was really that bad.
Contreras comes forward, drops it to Howe. Howe trying to spring it. Murphy had it red. Look at Mendez. Oh, he's held up, and he'll get that whistle. Mendez.
I mean, when you think about it, that foul looked worse. Just hasn't accumulated enough, I guess.
And Tim Von Steeg screaming at the linesman. Let's take a look at it here. Mendez.
Yeah, well, look at that. I mean, he's grabbing it. Now, having said that, Mendez got away with that in the first minute of the game, so maybe that equals out for him, but I kind of thought the yellow card was harsh, even if it was a few fouls in a row there. When none of them were bad.
9 minutes left here in the first half. Murphy, the left back now. Ludwig Ahl from Sweden. Ahl with the push. And he'll also have words for the referee. Make no mistake, red cards, yellow cards have been an issue over the years for Santa Barbara. They are a very fiery team, to say the least.
To say the least, yes. It's one of those categories that they've always been near the top of the NCAA, and not one that you really want to be, but it comes from the competitiveness and and sometimes going a little bit too much on it. We said already that Mendez early in the season, he's a freshman, he's got 3 yellow cards on him already. You get 5 cards, you have to sit out a game, and you got to be really careful about that because that'll end up being in conference play usually.
Stoles dancing around Depew. Remember, Depew already has that yellow, so he's going to need to be careful in that very important holding midfielder role. Here's Torrey. It's from Santa Monica. See if Jome can get to it. Look at Torrey track back, and Torrey just rips it from him. This kid's good.
He's good, and Fuji's pass to Jome was just too soft. You need to lead him, put him into a trouble situation.
Adekoya He has got a bright future, Adekoya, the freshman from Seattle.
He certainly does. He's been very impressive in just the 5 or so minutes that he's been in.
Amick to Howell. Howell to Stoles. Stoles back across, looking for Adekoya. And Stoles again. Shot by Stoles! Oh my! UCLA, Leo Stoles!
Well, Dean, we talked about him at the top of the show, that this was the guy that can do it all. He just put the crossover. He comes, he seals in his own play here, and look at him. One touch there, just sets it up. Defenders do not step up to him. Real Fuji just went there, turned his back. He needed to be brave there, but what a shot into the corner. Really no chance for Josh McNeely.
Wow, he just smoked it. Jorge Salcedo telling us before the game that Stoles with only 2 goals, maybe he doesn't have the numbers, but it's just the little things. Well, there's nothing little about that shot.
No, and you look at it, Dean, too, is that he followed up that he's the one who did the cross. You know, the defender clears the cross, and he's the one who seals it in. But we also talk about the clearances from UC Santa Barbara. It's been their weakest part of this game, as a couple of the other chances early came from not getting the ball out. Here's another example of that. A defender cleared the ball right out into the middle of the park, and sure enough, Stoles there to put it away.
UCLA has been pretty good in this series, an all-time record of 33-4-3. The Bruins earned their 33rd all-time win over the Gauchos last season, a 1-0 victory on September 13th at home, and they lead this one 1-0. A couple years ago, though, in front of 15,000 plus, the Gauchos won here. And the Bruins on the turn looking for another one.
And again, McNeely having a little trouble holding that ball cleanly. And you know, it's one of the issues that Tim Von Steeg is going to need to sort and get solid, is the goalkeeping part of things.
A lot of pushing and shoving going on. Amick doesn't want much to do with it, as Calamar doing the shoving.
And Calamar, also a freshman out of Seattle.
So it's 1-0 UCLA. Mac Herman watch list candidate Leo Stoles, and he's going to be there in the hunt. I mean, do not be surprised if he's on that semifinal list come November.
No, I would certainly think he would be. You know, there's a ton of outstanding players in college soccer that, I mean, not just outstanding, but above the best, you know, as well. He's one of them, and see quite a number of them on the NSA TV games of the week.
Remember this play here is Adekoya put pressure on McNeely. McNeely mishit it. It was one back by UCLA, and the Bruins were on the attack. It'll go off of UCLA, though. They were able to survive that. But just that little extra pressure from Adekoya forced McNeely really to get a poor clearance, and boom, UCLA's on you.
No, that's absolutely right, Dean. And again, at that time it was McNeely. Other times it's been defenders not getting the ball out well. And you know, when you don't do that, it's easy. The other team just seals it in and wins that second ball, comes right back at you.
Under 5 minutes left here in the first half. Calamar is trying to set a record for fouls.
Yeah, it's just into the game for UC Santa Barbara. Adam Karn, Safferstein in the midfield. Replacing Fuji's still there. Replacing Axel Mendez, actually.
Fuji stays with it. Fuji to Calamar. Calamar goes down. No whistle. UCSB battling, winning it. They get it out wide. Tusa Zamaja with the clip. Let's see if he gets a card. Tusa Zamaja will get a card, I do believe. So the Gauchos with a dangerous free kick opportunity.
Number 21, Alex Leoa, also in for the Gauchos up top, getting in that box there. He's a big body as well, one of the targets for this free kick. The best left foot on the field in services for the Gauchos. Drew Murphy putting this ball in.
Murphy. Murphy sends it in. Finds the head of Depew.
They didn't. Depew getting to that ball first, and a little heavy on the header. Need to just be able to flick that either onto the back post or keep it going behind him for the rest of the Santa Barbara players. Have another look at this. Murphy's ball, not a bad ball in there. Difficult. Edwards has to hold. And Depew getting on the end of that, but not controlling it on target.
So go out of bounds. There'll be a throw in. Leo Stoles with the only goal of the game. A little over 3 minutes left, actually. Tusa Zamaja is fouled, and now UCLA with a dangerous free kick of their own, Keith.
Yeah, and actually about the same position that Santa Barbara was just in. Leo Stoles, the goal scorer, will be serving this one. See, he scored the goal with his left foot. Looks like he'll be serving this one in with his right.
Stoles. It's still loose. Right in front. On the turn. Getting down and knocking it out of there was Garcia Lopez, sacrificing everything. Now Fuji will try to start the counter. He's looking for Calamar.
Yeah, it was going to be difficult. UCLA had two players back, not enough space to go into. If you're going to do anything there, you're probably going to have to either get it to feet, although he was running away, or overhit that ball and at least get it behind the defenders where you can go and put some pressure on.
Played long. Garcia Lopez will earn the foul. Let's see what the Gauchos have left here in the final 2 minutes. Axel Mendez almost had one, Keith. Go ahead.
In fact, it was just about exactly what I was going to say. They certainly had their chances to be on the scoreboard with Axel Mendez's couple chances. Joan with a good look at goal as well.
Depew came back to win that. It's nice having that big, tall presence middle of the field, particularly when you're playing against a lot of smaller attacking mids.
Exactly, and of course he was on the end of that cross before on the restart.
And you said a moment ago, Alex Leoa is into the game, the freshman from Los Altos, California, part of the San Jose Earthquakes Academy. Adekoya started this attack. Here is Stoles, the goal scorer, with Depew all over him. He'll drop it to Howe. A rare venture for Howe. Look at him turn back around and go right back to his spot.
1 minute left in this.
I'm sure he was being told to get back there as well with just a minute left. He would take no chances, open up spaces at that stage.
Calamar pushed from behind. No whistle. He wanted one. Howe played to Regoza. Both these teams going to their bench here in the first half. A little over 30 seconds left. Leo Stoles with the only goals. You're watching NSCAA TV. UCLA, the #2 team in the country. If they get a win here, they could be #1 because the Tar Heels lost to Duke.
Yeah, they did. There will certainly be a new #1, whoever it's going to be. UCLA with a chance, maybe Creighton if they get a win this weekend.
Tune in on Tuesday to NSCAA TV to take a look at the Men's College Soccer Review Show as we count down the first 45 seconds here in Santa Barbara. And at halftime, it's UCLA 1, UCSB 0. And we're hoping Jorge Salcedo remembers to come over and talk to us. Let's take a look at the goal one more time from Leo Stoles, an absolutely splendid shot from number 10.
Well, first of all, now this has come back from the cross. Stoles put in himself, puts it down there, does not get closed down. You give a good player a little bit of space, and he's going to show you why he's good, exactly what Stoles did. And just look at this. You see Fuji's close to him, all right, and just turns his back on him. You just got to go right in, get a foot there, and make it hard. But Stoles putting it by McKinney, and 1-0 there. And I don't know if it's possible to be an assist on your own goal, but it was almost that way. Played it in, like, you know, get your own rebound and put it in. But that's what Stoles did, his 3rd goal of the season.
Jorge Salcedo making his way over to talk to us here at halftime. On top by a score of 1-0.
It'd be interesting to see what he says, you know, how pleased, obviously pleased to be up, but about the rest of it right now, Dean.
And you can see hear the headphone rattling around every which way. Jorge Salcedo, the fine head coach of the UCLA Bruins, joins us now. And Jorge, you talked about Leo Stoles not being noticed for the little things he does. He'll be noticed for the big things. He actually crossed it, got it back, and then hammered it home.
Yeah, obviously great finish from Leo. He was really influential in the first half. You know, he moved in a lot of different spots in our attacking third, and obviously picks up the ball at the top of the box, and fantastic left-footed finish.
Hey, Jorge, tell me about your feeling on the defensive side of things, because Santa Barbara certainly has had 2 or 3 good looks at goal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's 2 teams that are trying to win the match, you know, and at home, obviously, it's going to be a difficult game anytime we come here to Santa Barbara. They've got some quality in their attacking third, and obviously they're going to create some chances. You know, I told the guys before the game that they'll have some moments, we'll have some moments, and, you know, can we weather the storm a little bit and attack and get our goal, and that's exactly what we did.
Jorge, congratulations on the birth of your 4th child. Good luck the rest of the way, okay?
All right, appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Dean. Thanks, Keith.
Jorge Salcedo, the fine head coach of the UCLA Bruins at halftime here. Time now to take a look at the NSCAA Disney Soccer Player of the Week. And ironically, it was a player who stood up big against UCLA, Wade Hamilton for Cal Poly.
Yeah, Wade Hamilton shut out UCLA in the 0-0 draw, the junior goalkeeper from Murrieta, California. Cal Poly just up the road from here. Disney Soccer Player of the Week.
And now the NSCAA Continental Tire Top 10. As you'll see, North Carolina there, so impressive against William & Mary, but then losing to Duke could be UCLA or Creighton, as you said.
Yeah, and you look at that down there's a number of those teams that want that #1 spot. It could be Creighton, it could be Notre Dame. Cal Irvine still going on a roll. A lot of people going to be sharing that spot for the next few weeks.
Top 10 presented by Continental Tire. Continental Tire, the presenting sponsor of your college rankings and your college soccer special right here on NSCAA TV. It is end-to-end, 2 teams that have respect for each other, but they don't really like each other a whole lot. And it's UCLA on top 1-0 as you're watching it right here on NSCAA TV.
The shirt is your ticket. UCSB G-Kids know how to get into the game. G-Kids memberships are available through our affordable family plans for soccer and all new this year for basketball. Family plans get the family in for less than $3.50 a game. Become a G-Kid today and get into every game all year long.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Halftime here in Santa Barbara with UCLA on top of UCSB, your host, by a score of 1-0. You know, the broadcast of this match is authorized by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of any image, sound, account, or description without the express written permission of the NSCAA is strictly prohibited. Tonight's match was produced for the NSCAA by Apparent Gravity Media. And Tim Vom Steeg, now in his 16th season, has done an amazing job. He won the national championship in 2006, and I talked to him before the game. And Tim, here we are in the stands at Harder Stadium. Since 2007, this place has led the nation in attendance. What makes it so special?
Well, it's a combination of the fact that our community really embraces college soccer. I also feel like we put on a really good product. We bring in great opponents like we have with UCLA tonight, and the community comes out and supports that. We also have, again, a unique, kind of difference from other schools where literally our 15,000, 16,000 students are within about 3 miles from campus. So when you put all those things together, you usually have one of these special nights where between the community and our students, we get great crowds.
16 amazing years, a lot of special moments. I want to take you back to 2006. You won the national championship. Tell us about it.
Well, it was a special season mainly because at one point in the year we were 7-6 and absolutely did not have a chance to even think about making the playoffs. So to think about the fact that at some point in the season you were 7-6 and one game away from not even making postseason, we turned that year around to win 11 out of 12, including the national championship. What makes again that another unique story in that season is we had lost to UCLA here at Harder Stadium 3-1, and then happened to meet them in St. Louis for the national championship game. So it was all the way around, it was kind of a closure of an incredible season, which culminated in a national championship.
Now, this might be your youngest team ever, yet you've told us before the game that you think this is a team a few years from now could win a national championship.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that we've recruited a group of young, talented players, and we're committed to putting them on the field. We all know the recipe for winning games in college soccer a lot of times is not youth and inexperience, but experience and age, and so for right now we are struggling through this first part of the season, making a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, we know what we recruited. We know the kind of kids these players are, and so we're just going to stay with the course. And again, the more opportunities I have to put these young players on the field, play together, play in big games like tonight, that's the recipe for us to end up somewhere really special.
Tim, you've been great for college soccer. You're always a special host. We're going to ask you to do one more thing on the job today, and you know what to do.
Absolutely. You are watching UCLA play UCSB at beautiful Harder Stadium on NSCAA TV.
You watch the match live. You road trip to the away games. You rise and fall with every run. Above all, you live your love of the game. Whatever you do, get there with Continental Tires and improve your grip with extreme contact traction.
Continental Tire, for what you do.
Each year, the NSCAA puts over 7,000 coaches through our coaching education program. Youth, high school, and college coaches at all levels participate in the diploma courses. No matter where you are in your coaching path, we have something for you. Join your peers and get educated. Better coaching, better players, better game. NSCAA Coaching Academy. Improving soccer, one coach at a time. Register today at nscaa.com/education.
Now's your chance to be part of the most popular soccer camp in North America. Challenger Sports offers a wide range of programs with over 3,000 British Soccer, Tetra Brazil, and Soccer Plus camps for players of all ages and abilities. Join me and Challenger's talented and committed coaches as we help develop new skills, build confidence, and find the magic in your game.
Summer camps are filling up. Register early at challengersports.com and get your free game jersey today.
Welcome back to Santa Barbara, California. It's halftime here on NSCAA TV. The number 2 team in the country, the UCLA Bruins, on a brilliant goal from Leo Stoles, lead UCSB by a score of 1-0. Dean Linke along with Keith Tabatsnake. We've got more big-time games coming up here on NSCAA TV, all levels, Division II, III, NAIA. Saturday night, though, will be in High Point, North Carolina, an unbelievable university as High Point takes on UNC Asheville. And then Brendan Nash and Bob Warming, in-state rivalry there in Pennsylvania on Wednesday, October 1. More broadcasts coming your way right here on NSCAA TV. You see them right there, too. You've got Duke and Davidson, George Mason, Virginia, West Virginia, Texas Tech women.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it's quite a good package again, as we've seen already good games right from the start when Utah Valley opened up the package with their first ever game. And by the way, they continue to do well. A big upset at Denver last night, and keep watching all these games.
Speaking of upsets, Creighton lost to St. Louis also by a score of 1-0. Not sure if that's totally an upset. Take a look here at the first half stats at the beautiful Harder Stadium, Meredith Field, on the campus of UCSB. The students aren't here yet. You look at that. Shots dead even, and shots on goal dead even.
Yeah, I tell you what, it says a lot about this game because Jorge Salcedo said it really well. Both teams will have their moments, and can you weather the storm or take advantage of the moments you have? UCLA, of course, has.
Speaking of moments, let's roll to the highlights here. The first 45 minutes, about as much fun as you can have with a 1-0 score.
No, absolutely. Well, UCLA was keeping this ball alive in there, but then it comes out, all right, to Felix Bodea, exactly, putting that shot saved by McNeely. Then it's all U.S. Santa Barbara going down. UC Santa Barbara. That shot by McKinney, saved by Edwards. He couldn't get it by. They keep going down. A couple more chances here. All right, over the top for Mendez. Mendez wasn't through, all right. His usual reliable left foot let him down there. But this time, off one post. It comes back to Mendez. He's going to have another chance. Goes off the other post. He doesn't get it in. This time he says, well, maybe I got to play it to somebody else. He plays it to Jones, puts it on his left foot. Edwards gets it. So they do not get rewarded for it. It goes back the other way. Leo Stoles gets it on his own rebound off the cross that he puts in, gets that goal off his left foot. Have another look at this. Just so calm, struck so well, bending away from the goalkeeper. No chance for McNeely, and that's where you have it, 1-0 UCLA as we go into the second half, Dean.
Third goal of the season for Leo Stoles, part of the Mac Herman watch list. As we're hoping that Tim Bob Stieg will make his way over. I'm sure he's not too happy with the scoreline. This young team down to UCLA by a score of 1-0. Both teams making their way out here to start the second half. There's a good look there at the UCLA Bruins. They're making some noise as they're throwing pizza into the stands. You see that every day.
Hey, anytime they're throwing things in the stands, you're going to get excited no matter what the score is, but there's always excitement at Harder Stadium, and the home fans obviously hoping to get a goal in. As we said, 7 shots each, 7 shots on goal each. You know, we said we were going to have a nice game tonight, and certainly the players on the field have performed.
Tim Bob Stieg making his way over, but not without having a couple words for the referees.
Well, you know, whenever you get that opportunity, you get close to them, it's hard not to sometimes.
See Nick Carlin Voigt out on the field warming the team up. Don't see that every day. As
I'm sure it's a little frustrating for Tim Von Stieg, you know, after how well they played and everything, but, you know, to give up that goal and give it up late in the game also. We'll see how he feels as comes on.
All right, here is Tim Vom Steeg. And Tim, entertaining first half, really unlucky that Mendez, you said he was a special player. He had not one, but two off the post.
No, it's, again, we talked about it. In a game like this that's really evenly matched, you just need something to bounce and go your way. And it was really unfortunate for us that we didn't get that goal. But, you know, this is a game that we're going to have to battle for all 90 minutes. We knew it was going to be that way, and that's what we're going to have to do to find a way to win tonight.
Any changes or adjustments right now, or if it stays this way as it goes down the time a bit?
No, the only adjustment you're going to see is we're going to move Ludwig as a point and then kind of play him as a false 9. So you're going to see him start at the point and then drop in. We feel like between him and Axel, move Ish back to the left-hand side where he can get going from that side and bring Reed back to the right. So tactically up front, our goal is, again, to get the playmakers the ball, and hopefully by playing him off of the center backs, they're not stepping as much as the outside backs are.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
Appreciate
Good luck
it.
in the second half.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Tim Vom Steeg, the head coach for UCSB, and they're going to let him run across the field here as we get ready to start the second half in Santa Barbara.
It'd be interesting to see. You know, we talked about that Ludwig Ahl had not really been involved in everything. We talked about what a quality player we've been hearing so many good things about, and they said they're going to get him up at the point, get him higher up, see if he can get more involved. They put McKenna, looks like, out wide on the right side. Joan has come to the left side where he played all last season.
All right, Tim has made his way across the field here. That means we can start the second half on NSCAA TV with the UCLA Bruins on top of the host, UCSB, by a score of 1-0. The Bruins coming off back-to-back consecutive 0-0 double overtime ties over the weekend against Santa Clara and Cal Poly. All right, second half underway. It's still loud and boisterous and everything else here. The Gaucho fans, the students are not here yet, but the community support is amazing.
No, it really is, and you certainly get some sprinkling of students that are local that have come in, and oh wow, that almost got through with McKenna making a good run from that right side across.
There's only 5,000 or so. Can you imagine if the students were here? I mean, it's loud just with the 5. They love.
Now, Dean, think what you said. Only 5,000.
Yeah.
You know, and it's something like how many years ago in college soccer was that in itself just an amazing crowd? And you know that we're expecting crowds like that as the norm for the top programs.
Stoles. Fuji. So moving up top now, as the point is Ludwig Ahl, the Swedish superstar. And Reed McKenna has moved over to the right. He's back in the game, the former UCLA Bruin, now playing for the Gauchos. Depew. Read neatly by Smith. Smith. Maybe he was going to get in a little trouble there. It actually wasn't Smith. It was, I think, Klein is in there now, number 14. So I saw the 4. William Klein, the freshman from Irvine, California, sitting in the middle.
Yeah, and another one of these players off the bench that would be starting for most programs in the country. They are so deep at UCLA.
Here's Smith, the other 4 out there, along with Howe. So you've got Howe at 4, Klein at 14, Smith at 24. And then you've got the one and only number 10, Leo Stoles. Look at him dance. Vale. Klein will leave it. Torre into Jock. Now Mendez. Boy, Mendez is clean.
Yeah, he really is. And I mean, just quality left foot that he has. And we talked about this. One of those players. That's why Tim Von Steeg is so excited about this team. Such outstanding young players with really good soccer IQ as well.
Fuji. Fuji, part of Chivas and Galaxy programs. Fuji actually played against the full U.S. World Cup team with Chivas before they went over to Brazil.
That's got to be pretty cool to be able to do that. You're going to talk about that for a long time and hope that one day you'll be on the other end of that game.
Murphy will lose it. Vale to Stoles. Back to Vale. Vobeda, rather. Vobeda, number 7. He'll drop it to Stoles. Stoles looking far post for Jock. And headed out of there by Santa Barbara. As tracking back there was Garcia Lopez. Corner kick, Bruins.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and Jock almost got on the end of that. Garcia Lopez doing well, but McNeely coming out. We have another look at this, and, you know, this ball does get in.
Vobeda.
And good little 1-2 there as he gets around to it. And now we see there's McNeely trying to get to it, and he's not getting it to it. It was good defending.
Corner kick, Bruins. McKenna snapped it out of there. And Tusa Zamaja. We've not heard Keith Tabatsnik mention that player yet.
You're correct. You're correct. I was planning on it at halftime, but there wasn't enough time in the halftime segment to get the name in.
Under 41 minutes left. The old coach, Keith Tabatsnik, 20-plus years at Georgetown.
That would be former coach, please. Okay, former coach, not the old coach.
That's right. But I was just saying OLE, so
there you go.
It was different, you know, like, yeah, it still means the same thing. Sorry, but throw in for the Bruins. I tried to crawl out of that one. Tusa Zamaja. Yay!
There we go.
Guy's a pro. Tusa Zamaja.
And he's good. The redshirt senior from Panama City. Another guy who scored one of the goals against Wake Forest.
Jome. Taken right back by Smith. Smith with that right foot.
It's one of the recurring problems with Santa Barbara. They win the ball or they get the ball back in their defensive part. Either poor clearances or there was just a giveaway by Jome. They got to be able to connect out of there. You're certainly not going to be able to sit back and defend. They don't want to sit back and defend.
Contreras pushing forward. Here's Howe. Grady Howe, such a great connector from Newport Beach. Back across again. Stoles is everywhere. Down near the end line. Corner kick. UCLA, Leo Stoles.
That shows one of the weaknesses of when you have three guys right in the center midfield is that wide back getting forward into that spot, and he was sealing it in.
William Klein comes over in support. Vobeda.
I'm not too sure that very often you want to have a corner kick to set up a shot from 40-some yards out. Actually, I'm not sure that's the number one play you're going to get to.
1-0 UCLA, a first half goal from Leo Stoles. The only goal of the game, that one coming in the 38th minute unassisted. As Keith Tabatsnik pointed out, if anybody was going to get the assist, it was Stoles who...
Exactly, follow your shot, right? Or follow your cross in that case.
Murphy. Vobeda tracking with Murphy. Ludwig All looking to run it down, and corner kick now UCSB.
Now you'll have Brockway going forward and DuPuy going forward, and there's the two main targets. Also Paul Eamon.
Yeah, DePuy is the tall one. Murphy is in there. Jome is also in there. They go short again. Trying to find All, and I'm not a big fan of that play.
No, not with those players in there, and certainly he's just making kind of making an adventure out of something that you don't need to. If you do anything there, you come out, lay it back off, and get the cross in after you've drawn some defenders out of the box.
Klein. Amick plays it in the middle to Howe. Boy, Stoles gets a lot of the publicity, a lot of the notoriety, but Howe really does connect.
Absolutely, and I knew you were going to go there because we've both been noticing that. I mean, he's kind of holding them together. You know, it reminds me a little bit of Metzger from Maryland. You know, sits in that hole and breaks up plays and it starts the attack.
Depew trying to start it for Santa Barbara. All to McKenna. McKenna in the 18. He'll cross it far post. Hit it too hard. Stays in bounds. Back across again. Nope, they say it rolled out of bounds. McKenna needs to do a little better once he gets in the 18.
Yeah, that cross needed to do something. I mean, right in behind the defense would have been perfect. Just drive it in there. You had the defense running back, a couple forwards running back, and just ping that across.
Ping it, exactly. Well said, Coach. For sure, because you never know what's going to happen.
You got more than likely something happens, or at the minimum, you probably get a corner kick out of it because the defenders are going to be facing their own goal. As long as you eliminate the goalkeeper. Now, mind you, that cross eliminated the goalkeeper as well as every other player in the field, though.
Right. And those are the ones that add a few gray hairs to Tim Vom Steeg's head with this young team. McKenna not a youngster. This man is, though, all trying to put some pressure on Edwards. And if we're throwing out compliments, you got to put Edwards in there as well. He just has a commanding presence in goal. Stoles over to Jock. And Eamon stands him up. Eamon's good. Speaking of good, Mendez, marked by Howe. Mendez outside of his foot to McKenna. McKenna will tuck back in.
Just nothing there. Yeah, sometimes I think he wants it so bad. He's trying to play these balls that just aren't on right there. He just needs to lay that ball off. We're talking about Edwards, a commanding presence. His dad, a commanding presence. He's the athletic director at UC San Diego. Doing a wonderful job with that athletic department, and their men's soccer team coached by Johnny Pascal on a good run in Division III, 5-1 right now.
Murphy is fouled by Klein. They'll stop the clock. Klein will have a word, and he'll get some paint. The Gauchos fans like it.
And we have another look at how Klein earned this yellow card. Now he's feeling like right there things are going the wrong way for him, and then he just does a little bit extra trying to get back. And actually that's Klein coming in there, sorry, but
this was Vobeda.
Vobeda who was being held, and I'm sure he's a little upset that he didn't get the foul for him, and then Klein coming in, certainly well worthy of a yellow card.
Santa Barbara player goes down is number 4, Paul Eamon. Eamon, the sophomore from Germany, came back from Germany. Tim Vom Steeg said that Eamon told him he wanted to move to the back. And they needed him back there.
Now they'd had another German, Peter Schmetz, there for a number of years, who's dominating defender. And one of the things that they have to sort is that defensive side of things.
To Sazamaja. He'll lose it to Kevin Garcia Lopez, who has done a fine job at right back. Tell you what, you got to love these fans. A lot of times you go on these campuses, a team gets behind and they shut it down. They have not shut it down here.
I've probably been here eight, 9 times. I can't remember a time that the fans have shut down, and whether the team has been winning or losing.
They are waiting to throw some tortillas, though, I can tell you that.
Yes.
Michael Amick, he's a sophomore, but he's the captain, to give you a little bit of idea what kind of leader he is.
Jorge Salcedo, so praiseworthy of him and how hard he works to improve himself. I think he's going to make himself a pro by the work he puts into his game.
Stoles. Look at that. These are the little things he's talking about. Stoles, he's got 4 blue jerseys on him, and he earns the corner kick. Are you kidding me?
I'm telling you, Dean, 4 blue jerseys on him, 2 or 3 of them holding him, pushing him, trying to knock him off the ball, but couldn't do it. And have a look at this, look at that one there. He turns the corner. He's trying to hold. He can't get in. Jome comes in. He can't get in. All of a sudden, there's 3, 4 guys chasing him. And it's actually quite a skill of an attacking player to get them to chase your back.
Now watch him serve one. Stoles. Popped out of there by UCSB. Mendez has to know that he's got some space there, but I guess that's easier said than done.
But again, this is the issue. You know, over and over again, Santa Barbara winning the ball or getting to it, they have to be able to keep it. And you can see Tim Von Steeg on the sideline trying to get his team to have a little more composure when they get the ball.
Greg Wilson on the bench in his 9th season. Greg Curry over there as well in his 4th season. The coaching staff for the Gauchos. Tusa Zamaja tracks all the way back. He's strong, low to the ground. Here's Klein. Klein got that yellowed, marked by Jome, and they'll come back to Amick. Amick is on it now. Hey, the 2015 NSCAA convention ready to roll January 14 through the 18. You can register now by going to nsca.com/convention, MLS draft, NWSL draft. The best clinicians in the world, the biggest soccer show you can find. Make sure you're there. Here is Jock. He'll switch it to Stoles. Stoles in the 18. Great ball in. Flag stays down.
What a fabulous ball. I mean, split the defenders, just a perfect weight on it as well.
McKenna to Ludwig All. Contreras comes in hard on the tackle, but Santa Barbara, here's the deal. They've got 2 against 6 up there, and not too many can score in those numbers.
No, they can. And so one of the issues, Dean, is that they've been defending a lot, and it takes a lot more to defend, a lot more energy. We see this as a ball coming back in, and look at that pass, just splitting there. I mean, what a perfect camera angle on that to see that ball going through and not quite getting it. All he had to do was touch it at all. It might have been able to squeeze by.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Obeda thought he was offside or what. McKenna goes down to a knee, so they'll knock it out of bounds. Santa Barbara and Ludwig All will throw it back to UCLA as McKenna's back up.
But we were talking about before, you know, not enough players forward with Santa Barbara. That's a combination. It's also because they keep losing it so quick, I think players aren't wanting to make the runs to get into those spaces. You know, you're afraid to make the run. All of a sudden your team loses the ball and you have to get back. And that's a formula for never being able to keep the ball.
Obeda from Germany as well as Stoles. Both these teams with strong German connections. Torre. Pressure on Amick. Won it back for the Gauchos for a second. They try to play it to Jock. Throw in UCSB, Brandon Brockway, number 13. So Fuji will come out now, and Santa Barbara will bring on Adam Karn-Safferstein. So Karn-Safferstein now into the game, number 14. Jome had it for a second. Stoles takes it away from him. Stoles along with Jome on the Mac Herman watch list.
They are, but certainly in my opinion, you can see a difference there. And, you know, Stoles just, it's effortless, isn't it? You know, it's like it doesn't matter. Nothing phases him or anything.
Starting to cool down a little bit in Santa Barbara. Time to put the jackets on here up in the broadcast booth. Thank you for being with us and watching us on your computer screen all across the country, maybe even the world, with some of these German connections right here on NSCAA TV. Delighted to be with you. Offside.
And another example of giving the ball away. Just an unforced error.
Jock tries to stay with it. Back across. Flag stays down. Klein is there. Boy, if Jock just lifts up his leg, it might be 2-0. UCLA will try again. The Bruins putting a lot of pressure. Vobeda will switch it. Jome clears it out of trouble. When in doubt, hit it in the stands.
Get it out of there, yeah, exactly. But your Jock really should have been on the end of that. He just didn't think it was going to get all the way through.
Smith pounds across. going near post.
Number 17, Marshall Casares. And he'll place number 11, Reed McKenna.
And one of the things, Dean, always tell the strikers, players in the box, is you always assume the ball is going to come straight through. You know, it's why react to something that hasn't happened. And if you do that, all of a sudden you're on the end of those balls, and he has an easy touch in for a goal.
So another sub here now, number 17, Marshall Cazares, a junior from Brooklyn, New York, coming in for Reed McKenna. And UCSB, Tim Vom Steeg was hoping McKenna was going to get a goal against his former team. He may not be done. There's still 27 minutes left, but at the moment, he is on the bench with Tim Vom Steeg. Here's Mendez.
And truthfully, McKenna gave away a couple easy balls, you know, when he went back in there, and they need to be able to keep the ball. So you got to make UCLA defend a little bit, like what happened in the first half.
26:45 left in this one. It's 1-0 UCLA. That was the score line a year ago up in Westwood, home of the Bruins. Tusa Zamaja has it taken away as Caceres along with Adam Karn-Safferstein doing the work. There's Caceres, number 17. He'll earn the foul. Good work off the bench for Tim Vom Steeg. 16 years for Tim Vom Steeg.
And we see again just pulling him back, and if he's already about anything, it's why something didn't happen before that, but it was pretty clear, no doubt about that.
Driven in the free kick. It'll come right back out where it came from.
Again, I think that free kick, sorry, Dean, was put in too soon. You know, they got to wait for some movement to happen and some holes to open up. Always deflating when you hit the first defender on the free kicks. Now, some other top 25 scores tonight. We just said St. Louis beat Creighton. Marquette 2-0 over Northern Illinois. Syracuse beat Clemson 1-0. UMBC and Loyola in the Battle of Baltimore 1-1. Charlotte 6, Campbell 1. NJIT 1-0 over Navy, another upset.
Mendez going at it with Stoles, and he'll get the foul. Stoles and Mendez having words.
And the two number 10s are having words, and I tell you what.
Now Stoles and Mendez continuing to go at it.
They are going at it, both of them, and the referee's going to need to watch that off the ball. Mendez was definitely baiting Stoles, and Stoles needs to be above that.
Here come the Gauchos. Ludwig back across. Edwards will handle anything in the air. He's dominant.
You cannot just hang a ball up there and not expect anything to happen good. Brendan Brockway with that long ball into the box.
Vobeda, he's a pretty crafty little player as well for Jorge Salcedo, the German. In the 18 for a moment. Stoles, special player, folks. Kept alive to Vobeda. Vobeda. Foot race, Howe with Mendez. Back over to Stoles, but too strong. Let's see if the Gauchos can push it up front. They drop it neatly here too. Another sub coming in here is Armin Bagramian, and Bagramian, number 20.
Yeah, and I think right now there's a lot of energy being spent that both teams are heading to their bench a little bit. Some of the players that have put in tons of minutes are maybe needing a break, whether they get back into the game or not.
Depew, he could crack one from here. He does dial. Not on frame against Edwards. You could tell he was thinking about it, and he let it go.
Yeah, he did, and I think he got a little off balance by the time he ended up hitting it. He certainly was facing goal with enough time, and he has that foot to get a good shot on target. Who knows? But he certainly felt like he could. And they need to generate something. They need to get some stuff on target, some balls into the box that are dangerous to just get their confidence back. Because certainly first half they have to feel like, hey, we can score goals. And right now that hasn't had that feeling in the second half.
Foul here on UCSB as Klein gets clipped. UCLA trying to get Shea Adekoya in. He looked very good in the first half for Jorge Salcedo. And the UCLA Bruins, they lead at 1-0. Vale did a good job just dummying that one. Back across, looking for Jock, and McNeely will handle it.
Jock's coming close to a couple things, and again, it's almost as if he's not expecting the balls to get there. And I guess if Stoltz is on the ball, you probably should expect it's going to get to you.
Depew. Boy, it looked like Ludwig All may have been fouled, but referee nothing to do with it. Here's Howe. Grady Howe played back, won back by the Gauchos. This one, is going to continue to get a little chippy. Mendez springs out wide. He sends across. Nobody home. Smith had the presence of mind to chest it down and then play it to Vobeda. Smith over to Howe. Depew was right behind him. Fatigue starting to play a role here with 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I think you're right, Dean, and you can see actually a lot of space on this field now too. That both teams defensively, regardless of where their line of defense is going to be, they need to get compact. And when if the other team doesn't get compact, take advantage of that space to move that ball quickly.
Don't forget about the NSCAA College Soccer Showcase. You can learn all about how the NSCAA College Showcase can help your team and your players to get noticed. Just go to nscaa.com/events, the NSCAA College Showcase Series.
Just under 20 minutes left. And UCLA certainly playing a little bit more deliberate as the clock is on their side. They'd certainly love to sit on the lead by scoring a second goal and not waiting to that last 5 or 10 minutes where Santa Barbara will throw everything forward.
Under 20 minutes left.
And yet another poor clearance by Santa Barbara.
And that'll roll out of bounds. Boy, they continue to push and shove. Got to keep an eye on everything here right now.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, the emotion in this game is always high to begin with. Now as we're getting late, into the second half, and just a one-goal game, it's still obviously for anybody to take. Santa Barbara try to get that goal back, and UCLA gets a second one. I think that would probably seal it, even with this amount of time left, just because Santa Barbara simply has not generated much at all in the second half.
Santa Barbara had it for a moment. They lost it.
And that was 17. Caceres with a clever back heel. Would have put his right back, Kevin Garcia Lopez, right in to the corner for a nice attempt at a shot at a cross. If he was able to do that, I think Garcia Lopez caught by surprise.
Throw in for UCLA as more subs coming into the game. Shea Adekoya is now in, number 17, up top for the Bruins. Also into the game for the Bruins, Willie Regoza, the sophomore from South Almonte High School. Trying to find Murphy.
Yeah, he was trying to find Murphy, but I think that was read so early that Eamon needed to go somewhere else. The entire UCLA defense had pulled over to that side of the field. Maybe they need to swing it around, get it down the right side from there. And it's the one thing that you see a difference in with Santa Barbara. It doesn't have that player in that middle there like Grady Howe for UCLA that can spray that ball from one side to another from the deep spot.
The Gauchos with the urgency. Mendez perhaps trying to do too much. He'll win it back though, give him credit. Mendez. In the 18, then out of the 18. Depew wanted to take a crack at it. Now Murphy. And Edwards will let it sail over.
Yeah, they're really giving away some chances on these crosses, just laying them up in the air, and the ball come back to Murphy, who usually serves good balls in, but a little bit better look for UC Santa Barbara in that last period there, last couple minutes, getting a feeling they could get towards goal, but still nothing that's challenged that man Edwards in this half. As you get 15 and a half minutes left, as Santa Barbara starts pushing, a lot more space will open up behind them as well for UCLA for counterattacking.
Depew wins that battle with Vobeda. And that's Backus, number 8, actually doing the work there. So Backus. I've been saying Depew a couple times, but it's actually Backus doing the work off the bench.
Yeah, and Backus, is played quite a bit off the bench for Santa Barbara, and one of the players with a little bit of experience. We're talking about a team that has a ton of freshmen and sophomores. I think it's 19 freshmen and sophomores total on this roster. Clearly talented, but clearly, the difference in the experience between the two teams. You just see the composure level overall. But again, can see why Tim Von Steeg is excited about the squad that he has.
Smith for UCLA. Now Howe. Tough ball for Vobeda. Look at him. And easy foul to call on Shea Adekoya. Tim Von Steeg will now go to Charlie Miller, the junior from Huntington Beach, the big man. He just works hard up there.
Yeah, and this is a big guy, 6'4", 200. Obviously a target in the air, the junior. And he will be up at the point now, and we'll see whether or not that means if, actually they're not letting him do it because it was I think it was because it was a foul. The ball had not gone out of bounds. That's why you can't have the sub.
You can see Caceres asking the referee to at least stop the clock. They finally do with 13:30 left here. Caceres to Mendez. Nifty touch from Mendez. But not able to go with it is Kevin Garcia Lopez as they're bringing everybody forward now, Tim Von Steeg. This will open up the game quite a bit. Eamon will have to knock it out of bounds. Paul Eamon. sophomore. Center back now for UCSB.
For UCLA, the game's number 5, Aaron Simmons.
I'll tell you one thing, with all the subs that have happened in the last 10 minutes, has definitely eaten up a fair bit of the clock. The clock will only stop in the last 5 minutes if the team who is leading substitutes. Certainly the referee has the discretion to stop the clock at any time if he thinks there's delay of the game going on. Right now you see McNeely taking his time really and you know, as if they're ahead, and you know, you don't want to force the play, but you have to force the issue right now. And I think this is something we're not seeing out of here. There's need some field leadership out there to get them going. Look how long it's taken for this goal kick.
Miller can't do anything with it. Tim Baumsteig willing to try about anything right now to get that equalizer.
Charlie Miller, one of the 8 different players on Santa Barbara who has scored a goal this year. 1 goal each for 8 players.
Vobeda, he's a handful.
He really has been very impressed with Vobeda, up and down the sideline. The entire game basically has really been trouble for UC Santa Barbara.
Yeah, it does not slow down. Hard to take a guy like that out of the game. So speaking out of the game, Leo Stoles is out of the game now. Although I think he might be checking back in. You know, I admire that sub, though, because they were trying to bait Stoles, and you see the ball slammed to the ground. And Mendez looks like he'll get an unnecessary yellow, and I think that's his 4th now.
It is his 4th, and like you said, you just have the word unnecessary, and you know, just look at this. So you know you're upset with it. You know you're going to get carded for that. You absolutely know you're going to get carded. And by the way, you could be the most talented player there is, but if you're going to be off the field a bunch of games during the course of the season because of things like that, you're going to have a tough time. Yeah, he's going to definitely need to learn that and need to mature. And in my opinion, he should have had a yellow card in that first minute of the game as well.
I feel you, Keith. I could tell in your voice right there that you mean it, and you're right. You're 100% accurate, Coach.
Well, he's such a talented player. You hate to see that side of the player, take away from the talent that he has.
Yeah, it's almost like, hey, just give me a yellow. I mean, you know you can't throw the ball down like that.
Exactly.
10 minutes and change. I want to thank Kathleen Hermish. Great job she does in Kansas City, putting together all the graphics for fairly new NSCA TV. Now in just our 2nd season, just over a year old though. Yeah, here comes Leo Stoles. I tell you, I started talking about it, though. I love the fact that Jorge Salcedo took him out because he was getting chippy with a couple players, and they brought him out, talked to him, and got him away from that a little bit.
Well, you look at that, is that it was him and Mendez going at it in the center of the park there for a while, and kind of both of them doing a little clip on each other. He goes out, hopefully cools down, and comes back in, and Mendez, of course, picks up the yellow. But hard to take Mendez out when you're trying to chase the game as well.
Under 10 minutes left here in regulation. Jorge Salcedo not done going to his bench. Also say hello again to Rob Kehoe, the Director of College Services for the NSCAA. He's got an interesting second half of the NSCAA TV season coming. Friday night, High Point, UNC Asheville. I love games like that. High Point's such an amazing university. It's like Candyland.
It is Candyland. Don't they hand out ice cream on campus? The president of the university, I think, himself. Something like that. Don't believe me. I read it on the internet. But you can believe what you're watching on the internet tonight, though, Dean. A lot of talented players on this field. None more than Leo Stolz, who scored the goal for UCLA. So impressed with him. And I call him a man amongst boys, really. And when I say boys, it's unfair to how talented so many of the other players are. That's just where he is. He separates himself from the rest.
Harder Stadium's truly been named soccer heaven for UCSB. The Gauchos haven't posted a losing record on their home turf since 2000, and they're 42-14-5 at Harder just over the past 5 seasons. So not an easy feat to come in here and get a victory, but UCLA is 8 minutes away from doing just that and perhaps earning themselves once again that #1 ranking as Creighton went down, North Carolina went down. So the Bruins could be back at #1.
It's certainly possible. And Santa Barbara on this is the second of 6 straight home games for them. So they will be home as the students come back and double the size of this crowd automatically. Already a very nice crowd tonight.
Corner kick, UCSB, 7 minutes, 30 seconds. Tim Baumstieg likes it. He's trying to get Ishmael Jome into the game, and I think he'll get on. He will. Drew Murphy will go over there with Jome to take this corner kick. Sub is out. Clock is moving. 7 minutes and change left in this one. Can Santa Barbara get the equalizer and force more soccer? Corner kick. Edwards stays home. And UCLA survives it. Edwards did not come out. That ball was put perfectly by Murphy.
It was, and Charlie Miller moving really well in the box to get himself open and get on the end of that and trying to put it back to the far corner, but there was a couple UCLA players there, and difficult one. They needed Santa Barbara players to crash that after the ball had gone over their head at the near post.
Jome and Ludwig All. Now UCLA just trying to clear it. Gauchos will bring everything now, and Edwards, including Miller. Oh, this one went off of the UCLA player right there, though, Michael Amick. So Edwards was able to grab it as it went off Amick's head.
Yeah, exactly. And again, but the pressure going right now, and 6 minutes and a little bit left. You see Santa Barbara trying to throw everything into the box as quickly as they can. And we said before, they got to raise the intensity level and force this issue. You like it, UCLA still putting pressure up high on them. Not giving them a free ride either.
Jorge Salcedo, he'll go to his bench. Remember, though, in the final minutes, the clock will stop with your sub, so it's not really a tactical move.
He's got 30 seconds for it to be tactical, you know.
Well said, Keith. Smith, the right back, feeling the pressure. Played up top. Here's Stolz. You can see players just step back. Stolz was fouled. Santa Barbara players didn't like it. It's Duncan Backus who will get whistled. Now they'll stop the clock.
And another look at this as Stolz goes in and just gets touched from behind. You know, right there, I mean, that's a foul. You can't argue that. You know, it went right into his back, and I don't think it's very easy for anybody to stay up when you get hit like that.
Stolz. Adekoya. And looks like Larry Jock, the transfer from Loyola, the German Cameroonian, who's waiting to come in. Tim Baumstieg also looking to bring in a sub. I think it might be Depew. Subs are way over on the far side here at Harder Stadium, Meredith Field. We're in the old press box.
But there's Depew in as well, and he's up top. And, you know, with his size, I guess you know what's going to be happening when Santa Barbara gets the ball, trying to get it up in the air for flick-ons and things like that. Him and Charlie Miller, both the bigger players on the team.
Trying to find Jome down the right side and cleared out.
We see some sort of tortillas being thrown on the field now, and maybe being thrown out of frustration, because certainly not out of the goals where we usually see them coming on the field by the Gaucho fans.
Pretty rowdy environment here. That might be the understatement of the evening. Murphy and the Gauchos now with 3 minutes and change left here to try to get the equalizer. Murphy will bring it. Here's Murphy. Crowd likes it. Murphy now tucks back in. Pushed a little bit. Trying to find a blue jersey. Into space for Jome. Headed out of there by the Bruins.
And this is what Santa Barbara needs to do, though. They need to put even more people forward as they're getting those crosses in, so they can seal in the rebounds. 3 minutes left, you may as well.
Backus putting some pressure on the Bruins. Number 16, Christian Chavez. His brother Victor played for UCLA. Murphy. And UCLA, we're going to see a lot of this here in the final 2 minutes and change, just bombing it long.
Now they've got almost everyone going forward, just one player back right now for Santa Barbara.
Played into the 18. Could it be a tie? Depew now playing center forward, and that will really push the clock. UCLA player goes down, though, and that's unfortunate for the Bruins. Stoles, I believe.
Yes, and the clock is actually stopped at 1:56.
No, that's Contreras, my bad. Edgar Contreras.
You see that going wide. Not a bad effort, I think it would have caught Edwards a little bit by surprise. It's even more than a half turn on that one to try to get it around. A difficult shot.
UCLA trying to cement this one. Stoles, he's got one. He'll head to the corner. Look at the veteran. 3 blue jerseys over there.
He was trying to win a throw-in off of that too, actually, as they were all coming to him.
Ludwig All. Well, that's a pretty good ball. Gauchos over to Jome. Jome. Tim Bob Steeg's team, don't count them out to the final second every single time. Eamon comes forward. Now Jome. Jome looking for some space. He'll take the shot. And that was not on frame, not deflected. Tortillas starting to fly randomly here. As only a minute left.
Well, that was Jome trying to do a little bit of magic and win on his own. I was just going to say it might take an individual like him to do something. And, again, on the right side, trying to come into his left, finally was able to get his shot. But sailing it over.
We'll stop the clock at 39. Tortillas are flying.
And we'll see if UC Santa Barbara can get one more chance in the last 50 seconds.
Right now it's UCLA looking for one more shot. Jock out to McNeely. McNeely with 40 seconds left. And the Gauchos boom it long. Tortillas flying, but not for the right reason. Frustration for sure, as the Bruins have a 1-0 lead. One more shot here. Ludwig All's dancing. Ludwig All drops it in. Miller's there. Too slow. That was Depew, rather.
Yeah, that was all trying a very clever little lift, a little scoop over the defense, and just off the mark.
And they will count down the final 10 seconds as Leo Stoll still doing the work, and the Bruins come into Santa Barbara and they win it by a score of 1-0 over the Gauchos.
Well, Dean, you would have to say that an absolutely even first half with UCLA getting the big play by Stolz in the goal. Second half, though, really was UCLA's. Santa Barbara unable to put too much pressure on UCLA until the very end as they're throwing everybody forward.
I want to remind everybody that you can still sign up for the NSCAA convention. It'll be held in Philadelphia as you take a look at Jorge Salcedo giving a hand to the referees. Tortilla is still flying, but don't forget about the NSCAA convention, folks. It is January 14th through 18th, 2015, back-to-back years in Philadelphia. It should be a whole lot of fun as we're trying to get Leo Stolz over here as well. Your final score is UCLA 1, UCSB 0.
So you're bringing Leo Stolz over. You think he's the player of the game? I'll tell you what. We said it in the opening. This guy can do it all, and we saw him do it all. Left foot, right foot, those slide rule passes that he made as well. He is actually almost too good for his teammates. So they're going to, play it, okay? They're going to have to really be able to read him a bit earlier, because he played some balls. If they had, he would have been on the end of them.
And here is Leo Stolz, the man of the match. Leo, first off, a brilliant goal. Tell us about the goal as you got your cross back to your feet.
Yeah, I got the ball up in the middle of the field, and I tried to serve Shea on the back post. I saw him making the run there, and then the ball came back to me. I took one touch forward to cross the other player's line, and then served with my hit the ball with my left foot, and luckily it went in.
Oh, you think that was lucky that it went in? I wouldn't call that luck. I think that was an excellent shot, bending away from the keeper. But talk about, you had a little bit of a rivalry going with Axel Mendez, the number 10 for Santa Barbara. Tell us about that a little bit.
I mean, he hit me throughout the entire game a little bit, and I expected a little bit more protection by the referee, and yeah. That's how the game ended.
You mean like those tortillas?
Yeah, Leo. Hey, we're going to get you out of the danger zone. Let me just tell you, young man, you are a fantastic player with a bright future. Thanks for being with us.
All right, thank you.
All right, Leo Stolz, number 10 for UCLA, and for our entire crew here, led by Andrew Leahy, my broadcast partner is Keith the Batsick. I'm Dean Linke. The UCLA Bruins have come into Santa Barbara, a tough place to win a game, but it could be, wow, they're the number 1 team in the country come Tuesday afternoon. UCLA beats UCSB by a score of 1-0 as Axel Mendez not one but 2 shots at it off each post before Leo Stolz would hit the game winner. Once again, it was UCLA 1 on this goal right here from Leo Stolz and UCSB 0, and you saw it all right here on NSCAA TV.